It's time for another season of The Palmetto Porch, an original podcast from Discover South Carolina. I'm Devin Whitmire. Join me as I get to the heart of what makes South Carolina such a great place to visit by speaking to the locals who make it so special. Premiering December 5th, find The Palmetto Porch wherever you get your podcasts. And for more information about our show, visit scpalmettoporch.com.
O'Reilly.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hashtag no music, no intro. We apologize for the wait and the delay, but this is the hashtag Saints Twitter podcast doing the recap for the Saints and Packers preseason game. Took place on Friday evening. If you can't tell, I hope you can tell. Hope my vocals sound better. Just completely upgraded the whole microphone situation. Got the most top end microphone that is for podcasting, and actually like bands and people use it for recording vocals. That's what I have right now. So I, feel like I'm like a DJ. Want to be like nothing but the hits, nothing but the hits, nothing but the motherfucking hits. But let's go. We got a whole bunch of Saints news to talk about. We apologize for not doing it earlier. Ryan Bree spending some time in H-Town in Houston. Went to the Kevin Gates concert. Man got lit. So one thing that we're going to say on this podcast, at the end of the day, this life is about enjoying life and doing things that you enjoy. And sometimes that might get in the way of, recording an episode or us being delayed a couple of days, but we still got y'all. We still got your back. So before we even get into the game, we're gonna get into the game, but I feel like we should announce it and make it like official that we've been working on for these last couple of months. But I feel like we can finally announce that we're official, man. Like, we started this thing 2 years ago during draft season just because we were bored and just because we wanted to get Tony Pauline on, and we knew that we weren't going to get any draft nuggets unless we had some type of podcast. And
right.
we just put this shit together. We came up with this show. Had no idea. Like I literally told Ryan, I was like, I don't want to be co-hosting a podcast again. I did that. Don't want to do it anymore. We can do like a little mini series. We could do 5 to 10 episodes and that's it. And now here we are, an actual business. We are actually registered as an LLC, Adam and Ryan Media Company. Holla at your boys. We're official. We can, even though we are with Minute Media, like now we can apply for media credentials as our own. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. We wouldn't be here without all our listeners, our supporters, everyone who's been with us since day one. If you haven't been with us since day one, if you're a new person getting on with us now, thank you, because that's how we've been able to do this. And it makes me super proud that we are an actual business, registered, legal, gotta do taxes on this shit. But here we are, man. Here we are.
It's crazy, bro. How crazy is that, man? Just crazy. Like, it's just something because, I remember, before even starting the podcast, and I would just listen to people talk about, getting in a podcast game, content creation game and stuff. And, they'll be like, man, you start it and just see where it takes it. And that's literally how it is. That's why when people ask me today, like, oh man, I want to do this. I want to do a video. I want to write. I want to do a podcast. Just do it. Do it. Do your first. You're going to write a blog about football or whatever. Go write your first blog. Just do it and see where that takes you. You're going to do a podcast. Record a podcast. I promise you, your first episode will be your worst. And then it gets better from there, and you just build on it, man. So, there's a lot of content out there already, but we could always have more. I complain about too many voices out there, but, but hey, look, it democratizes, the world. You know what I'm saying? It gives people a voice to get their thoughts and feelings out there, and you might have an audience. Give it a shot, man. So I just look forward to see where this journey takes us. We don't know. We're not predicting. I'm not.
No.
I don't have like a 5-year plan and I want this, that. No, I'm taking it day by day.
Ride the wave.
I just want to make sure people, as long as people enjoying it, you know what I'm saying? Like, once people stop listening, that's when I shut it down. But as long as people listening and enjoying the content, we're going to keep it pushing because y'all make us want to keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? y'all the only reason I'm up here sitting in the Airbnb, at 12 o'clock in Houston, recording a podcast because, I want to talk to the people.
The streets need it, bro. They've been asking for. But thank y'all, like, sincerely. It's wild. But let's talk about Saints football. Let's talk about the Packers preseason game. Do you want to start with the good, or you want to start with the bad? Which one you want to start with?
Man.
Let's go. Okay, let's go. I want to talk about how well Trevor Penning rebounded from his preseason game against the Texans. And I also want to talk about, there's probably not been a person on this podcast more than we just raked over the coals, more so than Cesar Ruiz. And he deserved it, right? Like, it was not for no reason. But we've kept hearing this offseason that he's gotten better. He's gotten better. You got Doug Marrone in as an offensive line coach. And I get it. It was against like Packers backups and whatever. But Cesar Ruiz and Trevor Penning looked good out there, bro.
Yeah, man. They really did, man. It was a sight to see, bro. Especially Ruiz. Ruiz. Because I just need to see it with him. I don't care what any media reports say. I don't care about training camp. It's about the game. And I just need to see that improvement from him. They brought in Doug Marrone. They had Jari Evans for a couple of weeks. Almost felt like specifically to help Ruiz. Like, I don't know, maybe that's just something of my own creation in my mind. But I felt like Jari Evans came there just to help Cesar Ruiz. I think Jari Evans really wanted to help Cesar Ruiz. So, and, look, it was only, a couple of snaps in a preseason game. But, he did his job. Like, I'm not saying he was out there pancaking people and blowing people off the line, but he was playing like a professional interior offensive lineman that plays in the NFL. And that's all we really need. That's all I want from Cesar, bro. I don't want, I would love more than that. But if you just give me that, bro, I'm ecstatic.
We're not trying to ask for a lot. What'd you say, bro? You just wanted to be 29th?
29th, man. 29th guard in the league, man. It's beautiful.
You said 29th, man. I was like, man, if he just get to 40, I'm good. So, but he played well, and even on that play where, he became like kind of like a viral meme because he tackles into Tony Jones Jr. Like, people are missing two things. One, he gets like tackled from behind, so he doesn't even see the defender on defense coming from behind him. Right. Two, if you look at that play, the athleticism,
he was moving, boy. That's what I was like,
bro. I was like, okay.
Like, I wasn't even tripping about this to get, knocking Tony Jones out. Yeah, you wish he could have got his head around and saw the other player coming. But man, look, he was moving, bro. He was getting downfield. And I saw him on a couple of plays, him just getting downfield, showing athleticism, because we know he's athletic, but we didn't get a chance to see it the last few years. So, if he could just be that guy, man, to get out there on them screens and look, just do your assignment, bro. Get to that second level, block down linebackers, get your hands on them. Like, that's it, bro. Get your paws on them for 2.5 seconds so the running back can hit a crease and do that thing, man. And that, like, we talk about the passing game a lot, which obviously is extremely important. especially with pass protection. But the running game, like you look at the running game last year, it was tough. Alvin Kamara was, it was tough, getting tough yards. If you could open that hole up, man, and play in rhythm with your offensive line, bro, it makes the whole operation of the offense so much better, man. When you can run pass defenses don't know what's coming. Defenses don't know what's coming out of what formation. Man, it's like night and day. So hopefully, it continues. That's what we can get on Penny now.
And I'll use this to get into Penny, but that the play that also went viral that was kind of highlighting Penning. Also, if you look at 51, like he had like that like he went out and pancaked someone. Like basically they both pancaked defenders, or the defenders on the same play. And I'm like, that's what it is. That's what it is. That's what we're talking about. So getting to Trevor Penning, everything that plagued him in week 1 against the Texans, everything. He seemed to like, okay, like they took him. If you're watching Hard Knocks, right, when the offensive linemen are in their little group with other offensive linemen and with Doug Marrone, I feel like Doug Marrone, like he was highlighting plays for Penning against the Texans. It was like, okay, you did this. This is how you combat this. Like, don't let them inside. He's just taken the coaching in just 1 week. You just saw it. Yeah. In 1 week, he got coached up for the things that plagued him and that was getting him obliterated at sometimes in the first preseason game. And man, we already know he's a dog in the run game, bro. Yeah. He is
nasty. Like it's fun to see. Like it's hard to have fun watching offensive line,
right?
But when you watch him in the run game, it's fun, bro. I'm like, ooh.
Like he's
still going. It's like, oh, he's still going.
Like he imposes his will in the run game, and now if it's pass blocking, and we saw an improvement against the Packers. Now, you might also say, do the Packers really have the speed to really try to exploit his weakness? But I'm not even worried about that right now. I'm focused on the positives. He looked so improved, and we don't, from all reports, it sounds like the James Hurst injury that he sustained in the joint practice against the Packers isn't going to be anything to worry about. But, and I said this, I think I said in the Discord or the live stream, I'm not sure which one it was, that if Penning has to start a game or two or whatever it is, I am now potentially not as worried as I would have been after that Texans game.
Right. No, I agree. And you said it best, is the improvement from week to week that he's taking coaching, because that was the most important thing for me. That's why I was really anticipating seeing him in this game, is because I just wanted to see if he's a repeat offender, or if he's a guy that makes mistakes, gets coached up on it, then improves on those mistakes. And just like any teacher wants to see with a student, you know what I'm saying? Where, the student is struggling with, fractions or whatever. You sit down with him, you show him 2 or 3 keys to get past the fractions. Then on the next week, instead of a 70, he gets a 89 or whatever, or 86. And it's like, oh, okay, look, it's not perfect. You didn't get an A+, but you can see that he took the tools I gave him and he improved upon it. And you could build off that after that to where the next quiz, maybe he gets a 92. So it's the same thing you want to see with the offensive play. That's what the whole preseason is all about.
Incremental improvement, man.
Incremental improvement. So just seeing that told me so much. Like, I was like, okay. It just removed that worry of, are we getting a bust here? You know what I'm saying? Or not that I was thinking we was going to get a bust.
Right.
It's like, that's how you just kind of figure out, okay, what kind of player is this? Just a player that can improve over time. And just from that week 1 to week 2, man, that told me enough that, he should be fine. He's not going to be perfect. I think speed rush will probably be a problem for him, especially early in his career. Just because, speed rush tough, period.
Tough, bro.
Oh, you know what I'm saying?
against these athletes?
Like, these dudes are supreme athletes, you know what I'm saying? So it's just tough. But I think, with offensive line is really just about winning those 2 seconds, man. Like just getting those 2.5 seconds. And, with technique, you could do that. I think he's taking on to that technique along with the, ferociousness and that he has in the run game and just the playing attitude. Like if you got an attitude, you got to play with an attitude like that, man. It's going to take you a long way.
It is. It is. And you talked about the coaching. Anyone who's coached, even if it's like a rec league basketball team, and I did it for my daughter. My daughter was in a rec league basketball team in 2019, right before COVID. I don't ask me how I ended up coaching it, because that's not how it was supposed to be. The main coach was like, I gotta do other things, so I ended up coaching this team, bro. And they were, they were young girls. They were like 9, 10, whatever age they were. But just seeing how, if you teach them how to do something, of like, okay, this is how you like set up a screen, or this is how you do a pick, and it happens in the game, and it leads to a positive play. Maybe not even like they scored like a basket, but at least like something came positive out of it. As a coach, you are just you're just like, and Doug Marrone should feel like a proud papa right now, bro. I mean, I know it's preseason, but like if he could fix and change Cesar Reese, and he can, kind of mold. Have you ever seen that scene in Ghost? Like I'm doing the clay with my hands right now, trying to mold Trevor Penning. I can't stand that movie, but that's an iconic scene.
What?
Not a fan of it, bro.
Bro, that's a bona fide classic, man. What you talking about?
Anyway, we're gonna save it for the movie podcast. But if I feel like he's molding Trevor Penning into. You still upset about the Ghost comment?
Oh no, I'm upset about, but man, like honestly, if he can fix Reeves and get Penning, like Doug, I don't care what you pay him, Doug Marrone, pay him like double it, triple it, whatever.
Also give him the assistant head coach title.
Head coach, whatever you got it, whatever title, assistant, the VP of I don't know, whatever. Like you keep them in the building, man, because that is worth. That's like there's no dollar sign you can put on that, man.
Who's probably like it reminds me of that is it Bill Callahan? Like before, like since he's no longer been a head coach, everywhere he's gone as an O-line coach, he's always had great O-lines. Whatever it's like, always. Doesn't matter what team it was. Bill Callahan has great O-lines. If Doug Marrone can set like a standard with the Saints, man, and we're not talking about linemen drafted in the 5th, 7th round. The entire 5 starting linemen are all first round picks.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Every single one of them. 20. Hold on, let me see if I can get all the numbers. No, so Penning was 19. Pete was I don't remember Pete's. 15. Okay, no, Eric McCoy wasn't. Eric McCoy was a 2nd round pick. Sorry. Ruiz was in the low 20s. Ramczyk was 30, 29, 30, whatever it was, 31 when they got dunked for 31. Reuben Foster. That's a lot of talent. So you're not even dealing with like scrubs. Like the O-line should be great, bro. Like it needs to be top 5. It needs to be top 5 with that type of draft capital put into it. And before we get into go a little further, I wanted to mention it earlier, but man, we had 18 I think at max 19 people in the live stream for the preseason game watching Ian Book for fucking 4 quarters. Three of our listeners, shout out to Daniel, shout out to Michael, shout out to David, who were overseas, and it was like 1:15 a.m. They were watching to like 4:15 a.m. just to be with us to watch the Saints, bro. If you can't tell me we're building something, like that's the shit that keeps me motivated to be like this is we building something here. Like, this is a preseason game. Now, obviously, the regular season game, you might have more of our listeners and what have you who may have season tickets. They're actually at the game, so they can't be in the live stream. But like people who can't be out the game, we are truly building something. That live stream was fun as shit. The reaction we had when we saw that Chris Olave touchdown.
Yes.
Bruh. Sweating, bruh. So if you're not part of it, if you want to be a part of it, we're doing a Madden PS5 online franchise. Like, we have so many things that we're trying to do this year with our people that support us to try to just give back. With it could be video games with Madden. We're gonna have everyone in the leagues gonna pick a team and run the team. We're gonna play against each other, be trades, free agency, all that. We're gonna do the same thing for Call of Duty. We have the live streams for game day. Like, we are doing something that we're trying to build a community that's just cool people, good ass fucking vibes, no fucking drama. And I said in the Discord, man, like, I check Twitter from time to time, but like most of my time now is just honestly spent in the Discord. I know some people, it's like, I know one of our dudes is like, I don't know how to use the Discord. Like, it's kind of hard to explain how to use it. Basically, it's like an app version of a message board. And it's just in real time. I mean, it's
like, if you use Slack at work, it's kind of similar to Slack.
Yeah.
Just, get in there, but just a lot more powerful.
But just having that many people in the live stream at one time for a fucking preseason game, that hit home. So thank everyone that joined us. We're doing the same thing next Friday for the final preseason game, the Chargers preseason game. We might get Jameis and the starters out there for a little bit. So
it's gonna be interesting. I'll be there.
And I'll say this, bro. I don't know how Brandon Staley's gonna play it, but he put Justin Herbert and the starters out there, bro, and put our defense out there for like a quarter.
I would love to see that.
I want to see it, bro. Like, I want to see it. Don't want anyone to get hurt. I just want to see, can we, like, that's a top 5, top 3 quarterback. Can the Saints defense match up with him? The Chargers have a great offensive line. Like, can they get some pressure? Like, that's the shit in this upcoming game on Friday that I want to see. Anyway, let's continue going through our preseason. I want to stay with the positives. We're not going to go to the negatives yet. We've said on this podcast, we just want to see just one thing, from Chris Olave, and we just like, okay. And he didn't fucking disappoint, bro.
Right.
That the touchdown, the route, the patience, his maturity in such a short time from OTAs till now. Like, obviously I haven't watched him at OTAs, but just kind of going through, like, reading reports and things.
Yeah.
You can see it. And he's such a smooth player. And you just add the component that he can bring to the offense with 100% Mike Thomas, with Jarvis Landry, with the defense having to focus on AK, and you have potential better offensive line.
It sounds too good, right? Like, it just seems too good. It's like, no, it can't be this good. It can't be that good. But that's how, like, he just, when you watch him, man, it's like, it's so, I mean, that even goes back to Ohio State, man. He's just so easy to see. And he's just so like, I mean, of course he got, like, things to learn and shit like that, man. But just as far as, like, playing the wide receiver position, it's like you have all the tools there. And I know, like, a lot of people, like, especially like non-Saints fans, handle this like, oh, the trade up, he gave up so much, he could have got Jahan Dotson or somebody like that.
Shut up.
And it's like, and look, from a value standpoint, maybe they're right. You know what I'm saying? Maybe when you put up Jahan Dotson and Chris Olave at the end of the year, maybe the yards would be similar or something like that. I don't know. But it just, the confidence.
Yes.
When you looked at Chris Olave, when you scouting him, and the Saints really needed to hit. Because you got to think, we didn't have Jarvis Landry when we signed. We didn't know Mike Thomas would be back. We needed to hit on a wide receiver unequivocally. And when you looked at Chris Olave And imagine him in a black and gold, jersey running routes for the Saints. You could just see it. It just made sense. You know what I'm saying? You just had that confidence that it will work out as long as you stayed healthy or whatever. So that's why I just have no qualms about, the draft capital that came up to move up for him and stuff, because they needed it, bro. Like, it was a need.
It was a must.
A must. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it wasn't like, oh, just wait till the second round, maybe. No, we did that. We played that game a lot. We played that game before. No, you needed to go get it. That's why I'm ecstatic they did it. And it's beautiful to see that it's working out, man, because it's been so snake bit so many times with other players. It's just a beautiful sight to see that it's still, it's looking like it's going to work out.
It is, man. It really, I mean, keep in mind, like, he was, that was a great, I'll say this about Ian Book. Like, that was a great play by Ian Book. Pocket was kind of crumbling. He scrambles out to his right, throws a good pass. But it is good to just see it. Because we don't need to see it all the time, but just like a glimpse, and it's like, there it is. There it is. Speaking of the end of the year, we gonna have an interesting retrospective end of the year, and just seeing how the whole situation with Penning versus Kenny Pickett works out, bro.
Oh, it's gonna be interesting, bro. Interesting.
I'm not saying that to like give no heat, no heat, bro.
It's gonna be interesting, bro. Really, and the thing is, it doesn't even matter how good Penning is. It
becomes the whole Marshawn Lattimore, Patrick Mahomes thing all over again.
Like, it's not just like, that's not even about Lattimore. Like, it has, that whole thing doesn't even have to do with Lattimore.
He like, Penning could become fucking Andrew Whitworth, bro.
Right.
But if Kenny Pickett is like a top 50, top 12 quarterback, it's like, oh shit. Anyway, it'll be interesting. I won't say much about it. And of course, only thing I would say is, like, it's no fucking shock that Malik Willis is doing Malik Willis things in the NFL. The whole NFL.
He looks exactly like he thought he would right now.
Overthought him, bro. They just overthought him. It was just ridiculous. Okay, let's move on. Still positive.
Yeah.
Malcolm Roach.
Bro. I was focused on him this game, bro. I was like, okay, right? Malcolm Roach.
We heard about it in the joint practices, flashing Malcolm Roach is flashing. Cool. We even said it on the preview pod before the game. It was like, he's flashed in the joint practices. Now we want to see it like in the game. And sure enough, it translated over to the game. And I don't know what the interior defensive tackle rotation is going to be, but I've been saying this for a while now, especially with kind of Malcolm Roach coming on, is like them shot Tuttle snaps. If that's like who the quote unquote starter is, gotta cut it. Like, he's active. He's being disruptive. Again, I know it's Green Bay, I know it's backups, but that's what you want to see. Like, if he's a situational starter, you want to see him kind of dominate players that he's supposed to dominate against, and that's exactly what he did against the Packers.
Exactly. And that I mean, he's just so active. And he was a good player. He came on as an undrafted free agent. He was a good player last year, but you just kind of wanted to see them take that next step, as a pass rusher that can, disrupt. He always had great hustle, gets down the field, and has a little playmaker in him. So, man, if he could be that guy, I ain't even saying be the guy, but just give us good quality, as 3-tech, alongside Onyemata, man, like, that'll be huge, because the Saints desperately need it. It's one of the glaring holes on defense. So if he could plug that up, that'll be huge.
Absolutely huge. Made the rookie mistake that I was talking on mute. What a fucking noob I am. It would be huge. I don't think they're going to revisit Malcolm Brown coming back to the team from the Jags, even though he just doesn't seem like that's in the cards. But the Saints need as much help that they can get from their interior. from the defensive line. And so him even taking an incremental step in his development from like being a situational guy to like an okay, decent guy is huge. That I thought Kurt Merritt, man, he had that little nice that little punt return, like he's about to get ready to flash somebody, bro. He was hyped.
He's trying to make that team, man. He is doing everything he can. It seems like the coaches are trying to put him in position to make the team. I still don't know. It's just especially that position. It's a hard roster to make. But I'm hoping for him, bro. But at worst, I think he can get on the
practice squad.
On the practice squad, because I mean he's shown a lot, but I don't know if he's shown enough to where another team's gonna come up and snatch him. But you never know. Like, rosters. I mean, I think the preseason rosters are much bigger now. So
yes,
teams are gonna play a lot. But he looks like a guy, bro. That man, if Sean Payton was still here, bro, like. Like if Sean Payton was still here, bro, he'd probably be the number 2 wide receiver, man.
Like, and that's every team in the NFL has to cut 5 more players by this upcoming Tuesday. The Saints have already cut quarterback KJ Costello, and they've cut Devin Ezigbo. So they have 3 more players that they need to waive / cut before or they have till Tuesday to do it, and then. There's a preseason game on Friday. That's the preseason game against Chargers. And then after that is when the rosters for the league has to get down to 53. The thing about roster cuts and I've been having this conversation with a friend of mine is I think these roster cuts to 53 is gonna be crazy, man. Like you're gonna see some vets getting cut, some surprise vets cuts. You're gonna see
trades
where it's like, okay, we're gonna cut this player, but teams don't want to go through the risk of like, okay, can we claim this person on a waiver? So let's just give up, a 6th, a 5th, or 7th, to just ensure we get this guy. I think it's going to be crazy. And so that's why in terms of like 53, you don't even know how set it is because there might be players that are cut or on the league that maybe the Saints in their, NFL scouting have had eyes on, just been keeping like, okay, if this person gets cut, we're going to claim them or bring them in or whatever. So that's why even when the team goes down to 53, you still got to be on your toes because you don't know what can happen. I think we saw even last year with, they claimed, I think it was Adam Prentice, the fullback. They claimed him from Denver or something like that. So you just never know.
The Saints have always been active.
Yes.
They cut week always. They always either trade for some player or snatch some player off to somebody's practice squad. They always active. So the roster will not be set after these cuts. It's going to be a lot of swinging and moving that you're going to have to keep your eye on them because especially, I think running back is still going to be open. I think linebacker is still going to be open. There's still going to be some shifting going on, man.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You brought up running back, bro. Got to talk about your boy, TJJ. TJJ.
Damn.
Man, he was out there looking good in the run game. He was looking good on special teams, bro. Think he done solidified that 3. Think he got that 3, bro.
It looks like it, huh?
You sound so disappointed.
Man. Hey, maybe he's improved as a player, bro. I don't know. We'll see. I just feel like that position can be upgraded, man. Like, but I'm not gonna rain on his parade because he's played. He's looked good. Like he has looked good. He has. So I can't even knock him. It's just my little bias in there, my internal bias. So we'll see, bro. But
Friday was the night of Ryan's guys. So first you had Ty Montgomery looking real good for the Pats, bro.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, bro.
I knew they would love him though, man. Bill Belichick would love the shit out some Ty Montgomery, bro.
They're looking stellar for the Pats. And then the Saints preseason game, TJJ was going off. I was like, oh, this is the night of Ryan's guys. They said, you know what? We got to show out. got to show out. And then the last positive thing, we just talked about practice squad. We just talked about all that. It's important. I don't know if you saw it or not, but I kept saying during the live stream, I was like, I don't know if they're purposely not playing Lucas Kroll because they just are trying to hide him and sneak him on the practice squad or what. And then he gets in the game like towards like the very end. It's like one of like the last offensive drives they had. And he makes this play in the end zone that he catches a touchdown, but he gets called for offensive pass interference when it was not offensive pass interference, like not even remotely close. And you just in that one play, I was like, you saw his size being able to be used. And then after he caught the touchdown, the defender was like whooping at him and he was talking shit back. So you saw a little that swag, like that attitude. And I'm like, I don't know how they have to do it. Don't know how they have to do it. This man needs to be on the practice squad or something. He needs to be on it because I talked about molding a player earlier. This is a player that can be molded into potentially a decent starting or a decent, situational substitution tight end at the very least.
Absolutely, man. I think I need to go back and find that play, but it's really going to be interesting to see how they because obviously they do like him. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how they can get him either on the roster or on the practice squad. Luckily, I don't think he's done enough to, get sought out by another team. But you never know. Like Kenny Pickett could be putting in that call. Like,
yep,
man, coach, can you get my boy just got cut? Can you go pick him up? You know what I'm saying? Like,
can you imagine Kenny Pickett already having that type of?
I mean, it would be a smart move. You know what I'm saying?
It would. They made magic at Pitt, bro. Like
I'm saying, you get that little comfort blanket, just like they did with Jamar Chase. Chase and Joe Burrow. I mean, obviously that's a different level of talent, but I'm just saying, just that familiarity works, man. Like especially if you got a rookie quarterback, like I would always try to do that. I would always try to get, if I drafted a quarterback, I would want to get at least one of his favorite targets on my team just to help him. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Hopefully, Kroll makes it and keep showing something.
All right. What's up, Ryan?
Yo,
I'm just gonna say this. I don't want you to get offended. I'm a big dude. You a big dude.
Damn.
And I know sometimes weight loss has been an issue that we both dealt with our entire lives. But I want to tell you about something that I came across about this great new company called Vertimax.
Okay.
Did you know that Vertimax is the leading sports performance and fitness equipment company that's used by half of D1 programs and half of the NFL and NBA teams? We have an NFL podcast. It's used by professional leagues as well as other teams all around the world. There's the Vertimax platform and there's a Vertimax Raptor used to help athletes improve their performance on the field for almost 3 decades. That's almost as old as you. I know we pick on him, but did you know that we pick on him in terms of his workouts? But Jameis Winston actually has trained on a Vertimax Raptor, and the King of New Orleans himself, Drew Brees, has trained on a Vertimax platform, along with other top NFL and college football pro athletes. I was just scrolling on TikTok. I saw Amari Cooper using a Vertimax machine.
Wow.
We know we have a lot of listeners that have kids. They're in sports. They're in soccer, baseball, football, track and field, you name it. If you're a parent and you want to help your child improve in terms of their sports performance, or maybe you just feel like you just want to get your body right for the summer and get fit, you need to check out Vertimax. So all you have to do is go to Vertimax.com or follow them on social media at Vertimax. That's VERTI Max. Again, that's at VERTI Max. Vertimax.com. Look into getting yourself a Vertimax platform, a Vertimax Raptor, and tell me you won't see the improvement.
It's time for another season of the Palmetto Porch, an original podcast from Discover South Carolina. I'm Devin Whitmire. Join me as I get to the heart of what makes South Carolina such a great place to visit by speaking to the locals who make it so special. Premiering December 5th, find the Palmetto Porch wherever you get your podcasts. And for more information about our show, visit scpalmettoporch.com.
O'Reilly.
You've got questions? O'Reilly Auto Parts has answers. Need a pro you can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge, just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I don't sit on this long enough, bro. Done sat on long enough.
Oh,
I said it in the live stream. I said, you know what? I would have been annoyed and disappointed and frustrated if Peyton Turner didn't have a good game against the Packers, just by itself. But then the fucking Saints pregame has to take a picture of him doing some type of fucking dunk over the goalpost at Lambeau, and his athleticism is through the roof. You could see his athleticism, and as soon as that picture got posted, I was like, "This nigga about to have a shit game, huh?" I just knew it, bro. I knew it. And then he goes out and has an even worse game against the Packers than he did against the Texans.
oh.
And you tweeted it. And you got 51 mentions, 51 responses to it.
Right.
Still got to get verified. Like you just said, you hope he's not. We hope he's not. But he's looking kind of bust-ish.
Yeah.
Now, I will preface this by saying that's kind of how Ruiz has looked, early in his career. Now, the year 3, he's looking better. And sometimes, obviously, with some players and draft picks, sometimes it just takes time.
Yeah.
I think what my biggest issue with Peyton Turner is if you just go back and just watch some snaps, I don't know if is it just not effort? He just gets blocked and he just stands there. And I'm just like, can you do something?
Do something impressive. It's like when I said I think he's a bust, it's not, I don't want him to be a bust, but it's like there's certain players you see, and some people in my mention saying, that Marcus Davenport didn't have his great year his first year. I'm like, go back and watch Marcus Davenport. I think probably his first preseason. I don't know if he did play. I don't think he played the preseason game. But when I remember first seeing him take snaps and being like, ooh,
you saw it.
You saw something okay, I saw at least what I saw in college. Dude's a low. He doesn't know what he's doing, but you know what I'm saying? Okay, you see it. Even with Somebody brought up Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan only had 1 sack his rookie year. But Cam Jordan was a dog in the run game. And you could
as a rookie.
As a rookie. And again, you could see the power he played with as a 2-down defensive end. You could see the power he played with, and it was like, okay, I see what type of player he is. And when Cam Jordan came out, nobody ever considered him to be people figured him to be a 5-tech 3.
Yes.
3-4, 5-tech DN.
Kind of in the mode of Richard Seymour.
Richard Seymour, right.
Yes.
Exactly. But he kind of transformed himself to be more just an all-around pass rusher. But anyway, so like I said, with all those players, you saw something. You saw it. I'm still waiting to see it with Peyton Turner. Yes, he had a good game against Carolina last year. It's he played 5 or 6 games. That's the only game you remember, So, and look, maybe he was showing it in that game, but and look, there are plenty of caveats. He hadn't played football in 10 months. He started off injured. So None of that helps, but it's
that's part that's all part of the
story,
stew, bro. Like, so like, okay, you're hurt. This goes back to when he was at Houston, and this was the biggest, like a huge red flag for kind of just like when I heard it. It's like 2020, like Houston played like a COVID shortened season. So I think they only had like 8 games or something that year. Maybe it was even less than that.
Less than that, I think.
He missed like half of them because of injury.
Right.
So it's just like that's how starting off from jump. And then he gets injured his rookie season. Okay. And then the injury or what have you like lingers over until this off season, right? So it's just like, so then he does finally play, and the best analogy I made, and sorry getting a little too graphic, but this is sometimes what we do just to paint a picture. Like, as if you're a man, if you've been with a girl before and maybe just tired, right? Like, she come over, you go over, you kind of had this thing set up, y'all's gonna get together. You just worn out. You can't give her that A+ performance, bro. You just going through the motion. You know what that's called? Lazy dick. Just that. Or if you're a female listening to this podcast, you probably just laying back and just like, so that's all this nigga got. Like, in this way. I feel like when I'm watching him play, like that's what it is. He just giving like that, just lazy. Like there was a couple plays in the game where he just is like being blocked and his arms out, but like he's not doing anything.
He's not doing anything
to get off the block.
And this is against like third string defensive linemen.
That's
bro.
what I'm saying. So we said, like, we were talking about, Cesar Ruiz is saying like, yeah, he's looking good against second stringers, but like, okay, that's great,
right?
But like, you can't even have Peyton Turner just like blowing up an edge, like something, bro. This is scary season. We talked about how the X factor on this team is the pass rush, and the team is for the most part pretty complete except the interior. I think there are going to be issues at that LB2 position, man. It's gonna be issues all season. It just is what it is. So you just better hope DeMario and whoever's next to him can play well together. Hope that Quan hasn't looked good for the Jets. Just praying.
I'm still hoping
you get him back. But what I've said it so many times on this podcast recently, what can make this defense truly elite, like could carry the team to the Super Bowl elite, if you had a combination of Peyton Turner and Marcus Davenport just taking turns at, with left tackles, like, just give it. And Marcus Davenport, he's off PUP, but I don't know what's going on with him.
I don't know what's going on, bro.
Peyton Turner is like, okay. So if anyone listen to this podcast that can make some things happen in the Saints, man, I'm calling up JPP right now. Call him up,
please.
Call him up.
Why haven't you called him yet?
Like, call him up, seeing what he wants, because as of right now, there's one more preseason game. Then you got like a week or so, and then football kicks off the 11th of September. So I'll be here before we know it. It's kind of a glaring fucking hole. Like, who's next to Cam?
And look, man. Look, Taco Charlton. I was not a fan of Taco Charlton.
We did not like him as a prospect,
and it showed. Like he was the journey. He became a journeyman. But look, I mean, he's shown me much more than Peyton Turner has this preseason.
Talk about it, bro.
He's shown me much more. Where I would feel much more with Taco starting over Peyton Turner easily. Like, I wouldn't even question it. It would be Big Creek. It would be Taco. It would be Tano. Before Peyton Turner. Like, Peyton Turner is the last defensive end I would start with this team right now, because he just hadn't shown it.
You can't put him on the field right now, bro. You can't do it.
I would not. He would be wearing clothes during game day for me, bro. From what I see right now.
Bro, do you know how bad that is?
That's bad, man. But look, That could change. Like I said, that could change. We'll see, bro. But this is the time where you need to be showing it. Like this clock is ticking, bro. It's about to be regular season.
Who's showing it? The rookie that I couldn't stand in Kansas City, George Kalafdis,
showing up every week.
Every week, bro. Every fucking week. And so again, that it goes back to what humans picking humans. I was not a fan of his tape. I thought he looked. Maybe I just have a bias against white edge rushers, bro. But I could say that because I couldn't stand TJ Watts. TJ Watts film either, bro.
You couldn't stand TJ Watt, man. That's true.
Right? And I always thought he looked like he was running in snow boots, but he's Defensive Player of the Year. So sometimes I don't know what I'm talking about when I'm watching prospects either. It's hard. But every time I'm watching a Chiefs game in preseason, this man's out here making plays. Looking like a young Trey Hendrickson out there, bro.
Man.
And it's you know who else was good? You know who else was good? Joe Tryon, who went a couple of picks after Peyton Turner to a division rival. And this is what we're talking about. All you said is that we just want to see something, right? We saw it from Chris Olave.
Yeah, exactly.
We've seen it from Trevor Penning. We even seen it from Cesar Ruiz, who is just a prime example of sometimes it just takes time. I think what annoys me most about the Peyton Turner situation is that this team and the moves that they've made has essentially shown you they're all in. You don't give up a future first round pick. Well, you do if you think you're going to get picks back from Sean. But they've shown you that they think that they could compete right here, right now. And for the most part, with this roster, I've said it, man, as long as Jameis can just be okay and the team is relatively healthy, I think this team should at least win 10 games. At least, if not more. But to invest, I guess my point is they don't have time to wait for Peyton Turner to be good. He needs to be good now. Now. And making plays now. And that's not happening. And at this point, like you said, I think Taco Charlton has to make the fucking team. He has to make the team, bro.
He got to. He got to, man.
Because I'm calling it right now. It's I know you said it, but when the week 1 inactives come out,
hey, prepare yourself. That's all I'm saying.
That's it.
Prepare yourself, man.
And we're not going to even go through the long rigmarole of Zach Bond was in the game, late third, played most of the fourth. It just shows you where he is on the depth chart. Again, not trying to use him as a pass. I don't know, man.
I don't get it.
I don't. And it's I get it was special for him going back to Green Bay, Wisconsin, all that. But man. I don't know. Just
I'm not even gonna talk about Zach Bond, no, bro, because I would go on a 30-minute rant.
give me 2, bro. Give me 2 minutes. Give me 2.
I'm just saying, it just makes no sense, bro. What are they doing? What when they walk in the building and they see Zach Bond there with his bald head, what pops into their mind, the coaching staff? I mean, you spent a high pick on this guy. So, to me, if I'm walking in the building, I see him, and I'm like, this guy's 6'3", 250 somewhat pounds, pretty good athlete. I'm struggling with pass rush here with Peyton Turner and Marcus Davenport injury, this, that. Let me use, let me look some of his college tape again to kind of remember what he did. He rushed the passer. Let me just see if I could come up with, some quality snaps for this guy. Maybe just third down snaps, maybe just obvious pass rush snaps. Let me design a package just for Zach Bond to get something out of him. That's what I'd be doing. But it's they're not doing it. I just don't get it. I just want to literally, I mean, I know the reporters can only ask so much, but I just if we can get our media credentials, bro, that's the first question I'm asking, man.
That's also exactly why we'd never get our fucking media credentials.
Hey, that'll be it. I'll be done. I'm done. I'll turn in my credentials after that, bro. Just let me ask that one question, and I will ask it very pointedly so we could get an answer, not just some yes no coach speak. I want a pointed answers. Why is Zach Bond not being used as a pass rusher?
Come on now. Come on.
Why? Just tell me why. Can't give me a yes or no to that.
Nope, you can't.
You gotta give me an answer. And my God, it just annoys me, bro. And it's not like I love Zach Bond coming out, but it's just like, damn, even if I didn't like him, I know how I would use him. And now he's not even being used as a mic. So like, what is he?
And that's so crazy because even if we just going back to his tape, neither of us loved him, but he did have some damn good snaps at the prospects in Wisconsin, where he was a good, competent pass rusher. Like I don't know. It boggles my mind. Like DA's created this has built this great defense. You know, DA and Jeff Ireland. I think they've had their hands all over building this great defense, and it's like it's great. It's great, but it could be better. Like and this just goes to show you how important the draft is, man. 2 picks. A third rounder and a first rounder, when you don't hit on picks, it hurts. It hurts your team.
It does.
It hurts your team. I think a perfect example is the Titans this past draft, right? So they traded AJ Brown because they didn't want to pay him. Dumb, but whatever. So then get a first round pick for him. With that first round pick, you take Treylon Burks. You think he's the AJ Brown successor. You know, obviously, it doesn't work like that. Treylon Burks has had a very up and down start to his career. You know, asthma, just up and down. But in that same draft, they took a flyer in the 5th round on Kyle Phillips. This white receiver, you know, think of your typical slot machine wide receiver. There you go, Kyle Phillips. And he's getting like starting reps with the first team offense because he's looked amazing in training camp. Like to the point where they can't not play him with the starters. Treylon Burke, don't know. But imagine if they hadn't drafted, like they've had hit on Kyle Phillips in the 5th. Mm-hmm. It hamstrings your team when you miss on, especially when you miss on first round draft picks.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's going to play out with Peyton Turner. I know, you know, we sounded pretty critical of him on this podcast, but at the end of the day, man, we got to call it like we see it. And when things shift and when he starts playing well, man, we will give him all his credit that's due to him. But until then, as Joey dubbed him fucking last year, that man is hashtag who first.
Period.
until you earn his name back, man. It just is what it is. Something that also popped is just seeing how kind of late or later in the game Deontay Hardy and Traquan Smith was still out there, man. This wide receiver room, we talked about Kurt Merritt a little earlier, man. This wide receiver room, I don't know, man.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It's interesting. I feel like Traquan is really on the bubble, man. I feel like he's really in danger of not making the team. And with Hardy, it's just interesting, bro. Like, you know, what's really going on there, man? It's just feel like something going on there. You know what I'm saying? Like something ain't smelling right here.
It's not, bro. It feels odd. It feels odd. And I wish, and who knows, right? Who knows? They may be able to work out the thing with Hardy, and he's back. He's there this season, and then he becomes a free agent and just leaves next offseason.
I mean, does he not want to return kicks anymore? Like, because he's in a contract. Yeah, does he not want to put his back? Because he gets injured every time he returns as a return.
Yeah,
he has a great return, but he gets hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Hurt. Yeah.
So it's like, I understand from his perspective, he probably doesn't even want to do kick returns or punt returns while he's, you know, on the last year of his contract, which I 100% get. But bro, like, we need, like, that's what we would want you for, bro. Like,
I mean, you know and if I'm the Saints, I'm like, nigga, you made an all-pro as a returner. If you don't get your black
as a rookie, He's a rookie.
Rookie, bro. If you don't go get your ass back there and start taking these punts and these kickoffs, like he was like the main reason they consistently was in that Bucks game in the playoffs, bro.
Man.
But that's also the same game that he got hurt on. What?
That hurt. Yeah.
Kickoff return. So gotta get it. It just, the more I feel about this Hardy situation, I just feel like, is he gonna be on the team this year? I don't know. I don't, like, if he gets traded, but before, like, right when the 53s are supposed to happen, like, it wouldn't shock me at all. I've been saying it for weeks, man. Like, I just feel like he may get traded. So we'll see. But I would keep him just for a couple of packages this season.
Yeah.
Just, you put him on one side, you put Olave on one side, you put MT in the slot, you put Jarvis Landry in the slot. And maybe you have AK next to Jameis, and you just cross your face, you just cross your arms, you Pete Carmichael, and said, all right, how y'all gonna defend that?
That's tough, boy.
That's like that. How like that's hard to defend, bro.
It's hard to defend, especially if you could block, if you could pass block. That is tough, man. That is tough.
If you can block, then you have the opportunity to let those deeper routes down the field develop. That's why I feel like this is not the year to move them. But it could be to the point where it's so contentious that they feel like, you know what, it is what it is. We can find a guy that can run 4-4-4, whatever, and just supplement it that way. But I would just say the connection, he has with Jameis, we've seen it. You could just put that on the field a couple of times a game, 5 times a game on offense, because then you got the defense just scrambling to the point where they'd be like, "Ooh, we don't got the right personnel out here for this shit." Like wasting timeouts. Like, that's a scary type of formation where I feel like the combination of him and Olave on the field at the same time is, you gotta clench your butt, you DC, bro.
I'm telling you, man.
You gotta clench it. But I think that's pretty much, we hit on pretty much things we wanted to hit on. Go ahead.
Special teams, man. Blake Gillikin.
Woo! Yes.
Big Nuts Lutz. Bro.
58, Ryan. Ooh. And it had probably 6 more yards to go on it.
Man, like, that is huge, bro. You telling me, I was just happy to get Lutz back. And if you could just stay within that 90-something% from within 40 yards, I'm fine with that, bro. Like, just give me consistency in that range. But you telling me he got a leg, like he got a better leg than he had before he got hurt?
He got that Thomas Davis leg, bro.
That mega thing, Cybertron leg. Like, bro,
and it looked effortless, bro. Like, he boomed that shit,
bro. Like, when you got a team built like this team, like, man, that's gonna win you some games just alone.
Baldy said it in his breakdown. I think he posted today. I said it during the live stream, or maybe I tweet. Yeah, I said it during the live stream that him being healthy and Blake being Blake, 81 yards, bro. 81 yard punt.
That's stupid. It just makes no sense.
That wins you two extra games this season.
Tell you, man.
At least 2. Baldy said the same thing. That gives you at least 2 extra wins this season, because with Blake, he flips the field instantly when the team has to punt, and then you're putting the opposing offense back there, and then they have to move the ball and move it well against this
good defense.
Like you said on Twitter, man, that's 3 phases. 3 phases.
3 phases, baby. Like, when you got that going for you, that's why, which I understand why a lot of the national big head talk, football talk analysts or whatever, they're like, oh, but they got Jameis. It's like, man, y'all not looking at the big picture here. Like, I understand quarterback is very important. Like, don't get me wrong. It's extremely important. But, man, when you got a team like this that's talented in all three phases, and it's looking like the offensive line might be good, and it's looking like your kicking game is good, and your your field goal kicker and all that shit. When you got all that working for you in the defense, man, quarterback, his job is much, much easier, bro. Much easier, man. That's why, Vegas has Saints at, I think, 8.5. I'm still surprised they hadn't moved up a little bit.
I mean, if you like the bet, I'm just saying I would take the over. I'll take the
over on that, man. Seriously.
Like only thing I could see like derailing the team is just injuries, man. Is injuries.
Tons of injuries.
Also, is very notable to me, and I said this during the preview pod, is it wouldn't shock me at all if they had seen so much from Andy Dalton that they didn't even need to see him play in the against Packers, bro. And then just kept looking like they kept, had some shots on him on the sideline. I was like, our nice bearded QB2, just looking handsome on the sideline.
Good, man. He really glowed up, man.
Right?
He had kind of like a dweeby kind of look when he first came to the league.
Yes.
No, he's just like, man, he just glowed up, man. Like, all right. But but I like the decision DA made, man. He set like a shitload of people for this game because, look, I mean, they had tough practices all week in Green Bay. I think he's seen enough. It was like, look, I'm not about to put these guys out here again for a game. So it's just like, throw book ass out there. It's not fun on the eyes, but you know what I'm saying? It's just like
better earn this 4th round pick money.
Earn that money, bro. So I like that he did that decision. That's DA, man. DA, all right, man. He's doing all right. We'll see when the season comes, as you know how his head coach is, man. But so far, I'm like, okay, DA. Like I see he's making his decisions. You know what I'm saying? Like he's making decisions.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm like, I see you, DA.
Anything else from this game stood out? I mean, I know you didn't get to watch too much of it, but I know you were able to go back and watch some things. Anything else that stood out to you?
Nah, man, really nothing much, man. I'm just really curious about this Friday game. See what the plan is going to be. If are they going to make it a dress rehearsal, or are they just going to throw book out there again and just try to get ready for the regular season? You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't hate either option. I wouldn't hate. I wouldn't mind seeing a dress rehearsal to kind of get me hyped up. But if they said everybody, I feel fine too.
I would be interested. I think as a fan, this is truly as a fan speaking, just to see if he's healthy enough, just to see Jameis with the starters for a series or two, maybe just one, because maybe in that first series it goes great. That's it. Like kind of like he looked against the Jags last season, but he's kind of been hurt. He sounds like he's back. He's fine. Just give him a series just to see, because you don't know how Brandon Staley's gonna play it, but I want to try to get that. Sometimes like that rehearsal game gives you like a feel for the team. Although last year kind of fool's gold in terms of Callaway. But if Brandon Staley had, maybe he put Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa out there for like a snap and seeing how our line hold up against those pass rushers.
Be nervous. That's
No, bro. If I'm DA and I see Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa out there, I'd be like, Ian Book, your time, baby.
Season.
Your time, baby. But that's it for us. We just wanted to come and just recap the game. Shout out to our boy Nat, who won the Madden raffle during the live stream. Shout out to you. Appreciate you supporting us. Another live, this is going to be just a weekly thing, man. Our next live stream is going to be this Friday, the last dress rehearsal against the Chargers. I know a lot of people who support us, live in New Orleans, are going to be at that game because it's the only home Saints preseason game. So you out the game, tell us what you see, tell us in the Discord, tell us on Twitter. But if you are not going to be at the game, if you can join us for the live stream, come on in. It's always tons of fun. At some point, Elise will finally figure out how to unmute herself. For the live stream.
Nothing, man.
Nothing. Just watch it, bro. Just watch it. But thank y'all. Like truly thank y'all so much. We're been able to get to where we are because of y'all. We're officially a registered business. We have so many things planned this upcoming season for the pod. Can't wait for the meetup that we have for the Raiders game. Like it's gonna be fun, man. It really is gonna be fun. If you like our work, please support us on Patreon. Just as an example to let y'all know what that the money we get from Patreon goes to. This setup, microphone, interface, all I have now that the audio sounds a lot better. It was not cheap. It was not cheap. But that we're able to do things like that because of your guys' support, because of the support we get just independently from people in the Discord that just wants us to be great. It hits me in the heart of how much we appreciate y'all. So with the season coming up, like us, retweet us on Instagram, put it on your stories when we're putting things out there, because that's how the word gets out, and hopefully we can get more fans, more listeners this season and grow this thing. We're hoping to double our listens and our downloads this upcoming season. Now, obviously, if the Saints are winning, that would tremendously help with that, because no one likes to listen to the fucking podcast when they lose. But we appreciate y'all. But we're gonna get out of here. We'll be back on Tuesday. We don't know who we're gonna have on Tuesday, but we're gonna have someone on joining us on Tuesday as a guest, and then Thursday we will do the Chargers preseason preview and our updated and probably our final guessing of who the 53-man roster is going to be. Like that's going to be challenging, bro. Looking at that list like a test, like no this. But full steam ahead. Regular season's right around the corner. Thank y'all so much. Follow us on Twitter. Send us emails our email is saintstwitterpod@gmail. Ryan's gonna be actually in the live stream next Friday. He's finally there. We're looking forward to it. With that, we're out.
Peace.
O'Reilly.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.